against the Rays, where he ended up getting a win in that ball game, but he had a 9-0 lead, and he ended up coming out in the sixth inning. Only went 5 1/3 innings, so we'll see if he can come back. And looking for length tonight would be Eric Wedge.
B.J. Upton steps in, ready to get us underway here this evening. And a first pitch strike from Fausto Carmona. 62 degrees, our game time temperature here in downtown Cleveland, and a very stiff 24-mile-an-hour breeze blowing straight in from center field. Swing and a miss by Upton, and the count quickly 0-2. With this 6 o'clock start, the shadows of really encaptured home plate. And you see the pitcher is still in the bright sunshine. So maybe a little difficult first couple of innings for the hitters.
This is normally batting practice time for the visiting team right now. And you're right. The sun is out there. It's bright, brilliant. Hitters are in the shade, pitcher in the sun. So it could be a little difficult for the first few innings.
Carmona with a 1-2. In the dirt. Evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carl Crawford waits on deck. You'll notice the bright red caps the Indians are wearing today with the C, and the American flag is inside that C. The Rays will be wearing similar hats. In fact, every team in baseball wearing red hats today, even the umpiring crew, with their distinctive logos, but the American flag is part of that theme on this Memorial Day. Carmona with a payoff pitch to B.J. Upton. Swung on and missed. He got him.
Let's take a look at the Indians defense, brought to you by the Indians Team Shop, where you can get 2 baseballs for $14. In the outfield, it's going to be Matt Laporta in left, Ben Francisco in center, Shin-Soo Choo is in right. Mark DeRosa at third, Johnny Peralta back at short, Jamie Carroll at second, Ryan Garco at first, and Victor Martinez behind the dish.
Carl Crawford looks at a ball outside, batting .317 on the year. That was the 50th strikeout of the year, by the way, for B.J. Upton.
Well, he's been known to swing and miss a few times, as are the Tampa Bay Rays.
At the knees for a called strike, evens the count of 1-1. Umpiring crew tonight, Angel Hernandez calling the balls and strikes. Bill Welke is at first base. The crew chief, his brother Tim, is at second, and Jim Reynolds down at third. The 1-1 to Crawford, he just spoiled it.
You know, you may see a lot of swings and misses in this series because Tampa leads the league in strikeouts at 363, and the Indians not far behind. They are in second at 350.
Well, Upton has 50 strikeouts, and Carlos Pena has 58. They lead the way for the Rays. Slicing out of play. And not far behind is the incredibly talented Evan Longoria, who has 43 strikeouts on the season. But he also has driven in 49 runs. Longoria waits on deck. Fausto Carmona with a 1-2 pitch to Crawford. Just missed outside to even the count. Now Carmona with a 2-2. In the air, left field, slicing, and the wind's going to push that right into the seats.
The way that wind is blowing out of the north, Matt, coming in, I'll tell you, you could hit a ball in fair territory to left field that may push it foul. It's blowing in about, 24 miles per hour.
Yeah, and I mean, if you hit a ball high in the air to right center, I don't think there's any chance it's going to get through the teeth of that wind to get out of here.
Line drive stroke today, baby.
Yeah, I want to keep it down. Tee it low.
Yes, it did. When it's breezy, swing easy.
Here's the 2-2. Missed outside. Good eye by Crawford. Full count.
Yeah, it's the second straight time he's been able to lay off that pitch outside.
And the payoff pitch is again fouled away by Crawford.
Second straight full count for Carmona.
Crawford hits out of a slightly open stance. And he just did get a piece of that to spoil it, and he keeps himself alive again. So the first two hitters making Carmona work for it here. 15 pitches. Joe Madden just rewarded with a new contract, a 3-year extension. Crawford, big bouncer to first. Ryan Garco will take it himself. 2 away. Let's quickly take a look at the injury report tonight, brought to you by the law firm of Nuremberg, Paris. Ohio's injury lawyers since 1928. Call 1-800-399-2300. Tampa placing Akinori Iwamura on the DL today, along with Brian Schaus. Iwamura blew out his left knee in the 8th inning of their game in Florida yesterday. He's done for the year. He'll have to have reconstructive knee surgery. Schaus just has an elbow strain. But that's a tough blow, losing Iwamura.
Yeah, he's a good player for him.
Swung on and missed by Longoria. 0-2 the count. They had already called up Reed Brignac, so unless they make another move in the near future for infield help, they'll probably go with Ibar and Brignac, Zobrist. The 0-2 just missed. The moves today to the roster for the Rays involved the pitching. David Price today starter. And they also brought up Randy Choate, left-hander from AAA. Missed down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Longoria with a .333 average on the year. 11 homers, 49 runs batted in. He has been just sensational since coming to the big leagues last year. And the 2-2 from Carmona is swung on and missed. So Fausto strikes out a pair and sets the Rays down in order. Now, Grady Sizemore leads the Indians' offensive attack when we come back. Going to the bottom of the first inning, and we'll get a look at Joe Maddon's starting nine. I beg your pardon, the Indians starting nine. Jamie Carroll, Grady Sizemore, Victor Martinez, Peralta, Chu, and DeRosa, Garco, Laporta, and Francisco. Shin-Soo Choo coming off a tremendous road trip.
The big left-hander, 23-year-older David Price, making his very first start this year after making 8 starts for him down at AAA in Durham. He was 1-4 at .393, and you remember last year this kid had to push through the playoffs and really helped them out of the bullpen. Their number 1 pick. Let's look at their defense behind Price tonight. It's Crawford, Upton, and Zobrist in the outfield. Longoria, Brignac, Ibar, Pena on the infield with Navarro behind the plate.
Well, there's Jamie Carroll stepping in to face left-hander David Price, and his first pitch is up high for ball 1.
Big lefty, a fastball, slider, changeup.
Last year in his debut with the Rays, he pitched in 5 games during the regular season, covering 14 innings. And a 193 earned run average. Walked 4, struck out 12 in the 14 innings that he worked. But you see what he did last year in the ALCS against Boston out of that bullpen. He really became almost like the X factor in the series.
Well, that's almost what you needed to have or needed to be to beat the Red Sox, and they were able to hold on and do it. You know, the guy, they felt like they wanted him to go down to the minor leagues and have a little better command of his fastball. And you would think a guy that this big, you know, could get out of whack with deliveries. You know, a big, tall guy.
6'6", 225. He was the first overall pick in the draft of 2007. Fouled out to the right by Jamie Carroll. Now the payoff pitch. And Carroll draws a leadoff walk. Yesterday's great clip of the game, Grady Sizemore with a triple down into the right field corner. Relax, you're at Great Clips.
Well, it was a triple and then some. After he was called out, obstruction was called. He ended up scoring.
Here is Sizemore. Looks at a ball up high. Grady pulling the pant legs up today. In for a strike to even the count at 1-1. You know, the amazing thing about David Price, when you think about what he did last year, is it was his first year in professional baseball, even though he was drafted in 07. Last year was his first year pitching professionally. So he went from A-ball to the big leagues in 1 year. That's dropping in a hurry. Crawford dives, can't get it. On his way to third goes Jamie Carroll, and in his second, hustling with a double, is Grady Sizemore.
I guess you could call that maybe a wind-blown double.
You know, it really was.
Because that certainly helped. If you're an outfielder today, you could certainly cheat in. Because even if a guy drives the ball, you should get a little bit of help from that wind, and it certainly helped Grady in this at-bat here with a double because it was pushing the ball away from Carl Crawford, who's got outstanding range. You can see he had a good jump, but he could just never get there. That ball kept dying, and it pushed it away. So good start. Second and third, nobody out.
So Indians at second and third for Victor Martinez. As the Indians try to break through first against David Price and the Rays here tonight. And the pitch is low for ball one. Victor in an 0 for 13 slide.
We got timeout for some reason.
Tim Welke heading toward the Indians dugout. Looked like he's talking to Eric Wedge about something, but we're not sure what.
I don't know what.
Eric Wedge is looking up somebody's name and number. So we're back to playing here. Martinez with runners at second and third and nobody out. And the 1-0 pitch is fouled off to the right. Carl Willis picking up where Eric Wedge left off. I almost wonder if it has something to do with the Indians' bullpen.
I have no idea.
Now the 1-1 to Martinez. Again, it's fouled off.
Well, you can see he's trying to stay tight to Victor, not give him any swinging room, and he's doing a pretty darn good job.
Jamie Carroll, the runner at third, with Sizemore at second. And the 1-2 pitch to Martinez. Right back over the screen. And you see the miles per hour. David Price, one of the reasons he was the #1 pick in the country. Blessed with that blazing fastball, but also a good slider. The changeup, and also mixing in a bit of a curveball now and again. Something he was working on in the minor leagues. Now the 1-2. Missed down and in with it.
Well, when this guy refines some of his pitches and can get a little command with his fastball, he could be a lot like CC Sabathia was. As big as he is, imposing out there.
2-2. Back over the screen.
But that may take some time. Our other lefty in the rotation, Scott Kazmir, he's struggled this year. He's 4-4, but his ERA is 7.69.
Now the big left-hander's 2-2 pitch. And again, Martinez fights it off. Well, Price is a guy who probably hasn't dealt with a lot of failure in his life. Last year in his first professional season, as I mentioned, he was 4-0 at A-ball, 7-0 at Double-A, 1-1 at Triple-A. And then this year at Triple-A, after not making the ball club out of spring training, was just 1-4. He strikes out Martinez for the first out in the inning on an 8-pitch at bat.
Well, it was a good heater. It's a fastball, and it's right by Victor. I was just trying to protect, put it in play, but he throws it by him. Gets his first strikeout and out #1 in the inning. And we're told that they were shutting down the radar gun. Everything was, I guess, the same speed, 98.
I don't know. Here's Johnny Peralta, Batting .269 on the year with a homer and 18 runs batted in. Indians trying to jump out in front here. And Price catches the inside corner for a called strike. Straighten him up and too high with it. Peralta has really picked up the pace in the month of May. And historically, that has always been the case.
I was going to say, true to form, isn't it? Another bad April, another good May. For whatever reason.
Peralta's hit in 3 straight games, but he was slowed down in Cincinnati. A little bit of a sore wrist. And the 1-2 pitch. Checked his swing, struck him out looking. So 2 down here in the first.
Well, Johnny didn't like the call, but I'll tell you, that was a nasty slider. That ball, watch the break on that going straight down. I mean, that had some hard late break at about 89 miles per hour. Whew.
Now Shin-Soo Choo with 2 on and 2 out. David Price trying to work his way out of a first inning jam here. And a first pitch strike, and now Shin-Soo Choo's not happy with Angel Hernandez.
Well, they're going to start barking at that right there being up. But if that's going to be a strike today, Price could be in business.
Now that was too high, 1-1. One delivery, high again, 2-1. And if not for a beneficial call, it could be 3-0 right here. Choo with 5 homers, 9 doubles, and a triple on the year. And the 2-1 from Price is fouled back to even the count. Well, the Yankees beat up on Texas today down in Arlington 11-1. They banged out 19 hits. So did the Tigers. They had 19 hits against the Royals in Kansas City and beat them 13-1. There's the 2-2 pitch to Choo. Struck him out looking. So David Price walked the batter, gave up a double, and then struck out the side. 1-2-3. No score after an inning. brought to you in part by Continental Airlines, official airline of the Cleveland Indians. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. No score after an inning. Rays come to bat here in the second with Carlos Pena leading off. Indians shift 3 on the right side. Peralta stays over by his lonesome on the left. And Pena went too far after that first pitch, strike 1. What they do is they take DeRosa from third and shift him over just to the right of second base and leave Peralta at the shortstop position. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, nothing in 2 the count.
You know, Fausto has been 0-2 or 1-2 to the first 4 hitters in this ball game, and you have to like that.
The 2-strike pitch. Missed down low with it. The only problem for Carmona is he's gotten to the early advantage, but it's taken him a while to put him away.
Yes, it has. A couple of full counts in there. But, you know, it's always nice to watch when he gets ahead. Those guys will end up swinging because he'll fine-tune it.
2-2.
Back to 2-2. Pena, the home run leader in the league. They also have the AL batting average leader, Jason Bartlett, although he's not playing tonight. Evan Longoria, the RBI leader. And Carl Crawford, the stolen base leader. Well, they have 4 different players that are pretty much doing it. They're number 1 in runs scored in the American League. First in stolen bases, 77 as a team.
And a walk now to Carlos Pena. So after he had him down, couldn't put him away.
Well, that is Fausto's problem. Sometimes he gets a little erratic. He leads the league in walks now with 31.
Here's Willie Ibar, switch hitting second baseman. He's playing second base tonight with Akinori Iwamura now on the DL and lost for the rest of the year.
You know, that could hurt the Rays a little bit because even though he was having a tough year defensively, he had a string of 74 games where he did not make an error last year, and he's a solid second baseman, and he's a pretty clutch hitter too.
That's down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Saw Joe Madden, I mentioned earlier, rewarded with a new 3-year contract extension that'll keep him as the skipper of the Rays through 2012. Came to the Rays in 2006, and last year took him to the World Series. Only Joe Madden and Bobby Cox have taken a team to the postseason the year after finishing with the worst record in Major League Baseball. Braves did it in '91, and of course the Rays last year. .30 pitch in there for a strike. Now the 3-1, and it's outside ball 4. He's walked the first 2. So 2 on, nobody out, and Ben Zobrist to the plate. Carl Willis going out to the mound. You know, during the Pena at bat, I thought the count jumped a pitch too soon. Fausto actually had gone to his mouth with his hand
when he was on the
rubber, and the umpire awarded a ball to Pena. I didn't quite understand when I saw Angel Hernandez turned around, made a motion back to the
All right,
press box.
Here we are. We go back to it. See, there it is. He went to it.
Well, no, you don't see it there, but he was telling the scoreboard to put it up there. I think they had done it right before that. The third base umpire was actually the guy who called it, James Reynolds.
I guess you're not allowed to blow in your hand tonight. It's warm enough.
Exactly.
And normally, if you do something like that, the umpires will tell both managers and pitchers that you can go ahead and blow into your hand. And they may do it as the game goes on, but they didn't at that point, so that automatically goes as a ball. Now, Victor's looking over there. It looks like they said you can blow in your hands now.
Well, James Reynolds was making some kind of a motion toward Carmona. He's either telling him you can't do that or he's telling him that you can. I wouldn't imagine they'd change right here. But in any event, 2 on, nobody out. Ben Zobrist is the batter. And it's in there for a called strike. Zobrist batting .277, 8 homers, 23 runs batted in. And now his services will be needed more than ever with the injury to Iwamura. He's been their super sub. He can play the infield, play the outfield.
He's very capable of, I'm sure, taking it in and playing every day. He really has gotten off to a terrific start for him this year.
The 0-1. And it missed low.
Now, Carmona averages over 17 pitches per inning. And when nobody is on, opposition is hitting just .218. But when he has runners on base, he has a tougher time pitching out of the stretch. They're up to .310.
Well, and he's blown past that 17 pitches per inning mark as well.
I know, right here. That'll go to, and he still has nobody out. But we've seen this all year long from Foster. There's no consistency. He can go out there and it'll be lights out for a couple innings, and all of a sudden he just loses it. Or he can go out and get a couple outs in an inning, and the next thing you know, he has a tough time getting that third out.
Now the 2-1. And now he's falling behind Zobrist. 3 balls and a strike. We're just seeing more and more teams go up there with the idea, I'm not going to throw. I'm not going to swing until he shows that he can get ahead.
Well, he was ahead of the first 4 hitters. That's the amazing thing.
That's true, too.
I mean, he was ahead in the first inning. He had Upton, Crawford, Longoria, even though 2 out of those 3 guys got to a full count. Now he has walked the bases loaded.
The batter will be Gabe Gross, the Rays DH. Gross batting .271, couple of homers, 11 runs batted in. Fausto Carmona set him down 1-2-3 in the first inning and struck out 2. And he's followed that up by walking the first 3 here in the second inning. And Gross looks at a pitch way up high.
And now
for ball
it
1.
seems like he's trying to throw harder. And sometimes that's what happens to Foster when he starts struggling for the command. Instead of maybe slowing down, have Victor call a breaking ball to slow his body down to get him into the strike zone. He has thrown 5 or more pitches to every batter tonight. And he has, as I told you earlier, some 0-2 counts.
2-0. Well, the crowd's getting restless already, and it's only the second inning. And Gabe Gross is going to wait until he sees at least 1 strike.
Well, you have to, man. He's struggling. You can't swing the bat. Boy, I'm watching the defense. They're getting on their heels.
2-1 pitch, up high. 3 balls and a strike.
It's tough to play defense when you're behind a guy like this because you never know when they're going to throw a strike. fall behind, you end up having a tendency to get caught on your heels or waiting. And Carmona's a sinker ball pitcher. You would like to see him quicken his delivery. Let's go. Move it along a little bit more. Throw strikes. Let your defense work.
Full count. So Gabe Gross with a 3-ball, 2-strike count and the bases full of Rays. And the 3-2 is ball 4, and the Rays take the lead. Carmona has walked 4 straight. Pena comes home to score. Gross gets credited with his 12th run batted in on the year. And the Indians' bullpen is about to get busy. 42 pitches for Carmona. Only 19 of them for strikes. Deanna Navarro, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, switch hitting catcher, will be the batter. Navarro struggling this year, batting just .212. You almost wonder with the bases loaded if it wouldn't be beneficial for Carmona to go back to the windup.
Well, that's what I was thinking, because from the stretch he struggles. And I mean, he's really falling behind now.
Try a new baseball.
Well, I gave you those splits, with nobody on, the 218 average compared to when somebody is on. When he goes out of that stretch, he seems to have problems.
The 1-0 pitch to Navarro. Bouncer foul.
Man, that's the first swing I've seen somebody take in a while, it seems like.
Pena swung and missed it one earlier in the inning, and I think that's been about it.
That's the 3rd swing of the inning. And he's had quite a few pitches. 24 pitches, they've had 3 swings.
The 1-1. Taps it foul. Well, Navarro's a guy who loves to swing the bat normally. Let's see, so far this year, in 132 at-bats, he has 3 walks.
Yeah. Thou shall not pass.
They're loaded with nobody out. Rays up 1-0, and the 1-2 pitch to Navarro is down low to even the count. Two-two pitch. Swung on and missed. Carmona gets his 3rd strikeout. 1 down here in the 2nd inning.
Looked like you might have helped him out there. But Fausto will certainly take it. Yes, he did. Look at that pitch going down and away out of the strike zone.
See, pitchers, or I should say hitters, tend to swing at pitches out of the strike zone. I mean, it happens. But what is it about Carmona that 2 years removed from his fantastic 19-win season of 07 that hitters are able to lay off those pitches now?
They're not swinging. They're consistently. He has a tough time throwing 2 in a row.
Base hit to right field. That'll score Ibar. Zobrist coming around 3rd. He's going to score. On his way to 3rd is Gabe Gross. And a 2-run single for Reed Brignac puts the Rays up 3-0. It's Brignac's first RBIs as a Ray.
Well, and that's what happens. You give them base runners, and now they're going to make you pay. Fastball on the inside part of the plate.
First RBIs of his career as well.
That left-hander down and in. So Tampa jumps out to a 3-0 lead.
Still only 1 out. B.J. Upton to the plate. The 1-0 to Upton is tapped foul. Melvin Emmanuel Upton. You got the nickname or the initials BJ. Stands for Boss Man Jr. His dad, Manny Upton, was known as Boss Man his whole life, so BJ picked up the moniker from his dad. Bunts it toward the mound by Carmona. It'll be an infield RBI single for Upton. And moving up to second base is Brignac on the play. For Upton, it's his 9th run batted in on the year, and the Rays now lead it 4-0.
Boy, that's really a heads-up play. And the Rays, they lead the league with that is now 52 infield hits. And that, once it gets by Carmona, there's no chance of getting anybody. So that'll be an infield single, drives in a run. It is now 4-0. So all 4 walks that Carmona had this inning come in to score.
Crawford took a swing, came up empty. Actually foul tipped it, but 0-1 the count. 2 on, still only 1 out. And Crawford is the 8th man to bat in the inning. Looks like Jensen Lewis is ready in the Indians bullpen. The question now is, how long does Eric Wedge stick with Carmona? You never want to have to yank your starting pitcher in the 2nd inning of a game because of the toll that exacts on your pitching staff in general.
Well, we had it, where was it, down in Cincinnati early in the first game of that series when Huff went, 3 innings? Or excuse me, Reyes, Anthony Reyes.
That's fouled. Lower deck sent some scattering.
This is the 19th time now that the Indians have given up an inning of 4 or more runs.
Carmona with a 1-2 pitch. And Crawford shoots that one straight back. It's a 35-pitch 2nd inning for Fausto Carmona. And still only 1 out. Bouncing ball in the hole, base hit right field. Coming around third, Brignac. He's going to try to score. Choose throw is going to be cut off. And Crawford has an RBI, his 22nd of the year. 5-0 Tampa. Upton to third on the play. And the Rays have batted around here in the 2nd inning.
Well, now it's to a point where it's 3 straight hits, and he's just trying to throw strikes and not quality strikes, and they're finding holes. So really a struggle for Fausto this inning.
Now Evan Longoria, the 9th man to bat in the inning, struck out his first time up. Looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Close play at first. Crawford able to just get back in time. Crawford with 28 stolen bases already this year. Longoria, the majors leader in runs batted in with 49. 2 balls, no strikes. So they've got the batting average leader, the home run leader, the RBI leader, and Carl Crawford. Pitch is inside, 3-0.
Yeah,
Carl Crawford's a stolen bases leader. So I mean,
yeah, they got
forgot
four
to
guys.
mention that earlier.
They got four guys. That's exactly right. And you see Fausta from the stretch. I mean, he tries to shorten it up, and because of Crawford over there at first, he just has no control of it.
Here's a 3-0. Runner goes. Called a strike. Throw to second. Not in time.
Make it 29.
Crawford has his 29th stolen base on the year. And Rays are at second and third with one out. Here's our Firestone League leaders. Firestone, a tradition of innovation. Pitch to Longoria, ball 4, and they're loaded again.
You got to get him out of here.
It's the 5th walk in the inning for Fausto Carmona. And after the Rays send 9 men to the plate, his night is over. We've got a timeout here at Progressive Field. It's Tampa 5, Cleveland nothing. Five nothing. Tampa Bay leads it here in the second inning. The Rays have sent 9 men to the plate. Still only 1 out. They have the bases loaded after Fausto Carmona is knocked out after 62
look
pitches.
At that. 62 pitches, and he was only able to get 4 outs. That's hard to do. 5 walks, very disappointing start for Carmona.
Jensen Lewis coming on for the 19th time this season. He did a nice job in Cincinnati, picking up the bullpen when Anthony Reyes was knocked out of his start early.
The first of a 4-game series, boy, and now they're going to be deep into that pen early.
41 pitches for Carmona here in the second inning. And as you said, only the 1 out. So here now is Lewis to face Carlos Pena with the bases full of Rays.
Well, you see where Peralta's at shortstop. Upton can go all the way down. He could steal home almost. I mean, you can go as far off as your shortstop or third baseman. He can go even farther than where he is at right now. That's the scary situation. You can't. I mean, it's bothering. You got to get somebody closer to the bag.
Yeah, that's what Eric Wedge is signaling to
I mean,
DeRosa
seriously,
to come over.
You got to get somebody over there. I mean, that is a total distraction to Jensen Lewis.
So now DeRosa will play close to the bag to keep Upton from roaming free. And the pitch to Carlos Pena is inside for ball 1. Two-0. Carlos Pena walked earlier in the inning, and he's walked at least one time in 11 straight games now. That is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yes. Well, he's got a very good eye at the plate. I mean, he knows the strike zone very well.
Back to the screen, 2-1. Leads the team with 35 free passes.
But, I mean, as you mentioned earlier, he'll strike out a lot as well.
Strikes out a lot, walks
That's
a lot, hits
all
a
or
lot of
nothing.
home runs.
It's all, he's a true power hitter. That's how you hit 40 home runs. You let him go, he swings hard every time.
He's been in a slump, too, and we saw it when we played them in St. Pete. Batting just 177 now in his last 19 games. There you see his numbers with the bases loaded. Very impressive. So a 2-ball, 2-strike count. As Jensen Lewis fires it in there. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down in the inning. It's the 4th strikeout for the Rays hitters. The only out they've made that wasn't a strikeout was a ground out by Carl Crawford in the 1st inning. Four strikeouts, but 5 walks. And now Willie Ibar looks at a strike. Bloop towards shallow left. Peralta out, makes the catch and hangs on when it goes to the turf to end the inning. So Johnny makes a nice play to get the Indians out of it finally. But the Rays score 5 times thanks to 5 walks. And they lead it 5-0. Of the second here at Progressive Field. The top of the second inning took 26 minutes. And it included 48 pitches. And it saw the Rays jump out to a 5-0 advantage. So now the Indians will try to strike back. Mark DeRosa, Ryan Garco, and Matt Laporta against David Price. And the first pitch is low for ball 1.
Well, Price has been sitting in that dugout for quite some time. That was one long half inning. We're getting right back to starting about normal time now.
That's you, always looking for the silver lining. 3-0 the count on Mark DeRosa.
There we go. Get a few walks of our own. Start put something together. There you go.
And a leadoff free pass. Price walked the leadoff man in the first inning.
Yeah.
Let's get a look at tonight's All-Tel text poll question of the game. And this is which of the following quote-unquote unwritten rules is the worst one to break? Make the first or third out at third. Steal with a big lead. Steal when losing big. Hit a batter near the head. Or something else. Text your answer to 31962. Results later. Ryan Garco looks at a first pitch strike. Garco batting .240 with a couple of homers, 15 runs batted in. There's the breaking ball that we talked about that Price has worked on. A curveball to add to his repertoire. Shook him off 4 times to get the one he wants.
Probably wanted location.
Shatters the bat, and Longoria had no idea where the bat or the ball was. He was just covering his head.
Well, safe to know you can't catch what you can't see.
They were both coming at him at the same time.
Well, the breaking ball just shatters that bat. Look at that. And Longoria knew the barrel was coming down that way, and he said, uh-oh, can't catch the ball. Let me hide from the bat.
Now the 1-2 pitch to Garco. Way outside to even the count 2-2. Two in the dirt, full count. Ryan Garco. And then Matt Laporta. Here in the Indians' half of the second inning, Tribe down 5. And it's fouled back. So at least for the time being, it's a pair of former college teammates squaring off here.
Yeah, that's right. Roommates, huh?
David Price and Jensen Lewis. A couple of former Vanderbilt Commodores. 3-2. Popped up near the Rays dugout. Pena couldn't quite get to it. It landed right on the roof. And into the crowd it goes.
Well, just keep your feet moving today, boys, with the ball in the air, because that wind is knocking it down and pushing it around.
And Garco again stays alive, sent a screamer over the third base side. And again the 3-2 to Ryan Garco. And again, it's right back over the screen. Wow, this is
that's a good battle. He's looking for one pitch. He's looking fastball, getting the fastball, and he's fouling it off. So he's really making Price work hard to get an out.
Yeah, he's already at 41 pitches.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot.
One more time, the 3-2. Again, it's popped up. Will it stay in play?
Should stay in play.
Pena, he's got it, one away. Don't forget, if there's an engagement in your future, stop by Alvin's Jewelers and take advantage of their Pray for Rain promotion. You buy your engagement ring at Alvin's. If it rains on your wedding day, your engagement ring is free. Log on to Alvin's Jewelers for all the details. Now Matt Laporta steps to the plate. Laporta batting just .211. 1 on, 1 out. Laporta with 4 hits in his 20 at-bats on the road trip. And takes a strike. David Price hails from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Laporta sends one foul out of play to the right. Last year it was mid-September when Price got the call to the majors for the first time, and the Rays were playing in New York, which was a neat deal for him to get a chance to go to the old Yankee Stadium before it was torn down. Gets the strikeout of Laporta, 2 down. It's his 4th strikeout tonight.
Well, tomorrow night when this series continues, you can take advantage of it. It's Dollar Dog Night out here at the old ballpark. $1 throughout the game. Visit Indians.com/value pricing for your tickets.
Now Ben Francisco, who takes a strike. Francisco 0 for his last 8. It was on the Indians' last road trip in St. Pete when Ben Francisco had the 3rd 2-home-run game of his career. Big bouncer to third, backhanded nicely by Longoria, and makes a good strong throw to retire Francisco and the Indians. 2 complete from Progressive Field, Tampa 5, Cleveland nothing. It's a 5-0 Tampa lead as we go now to the third inning here at Progressive Field. Fans checking out the action from just above the Indians' bullpen, center field. Ben Zobrist, Gabe Gross, and Deanna Navarro will bat for the Rays here in the third against Jensen Lewis. Lewis came on to get the final 2 outs of the second inning.
Well, again, in Jensen's last outing, Cincinnati came on, gave Eric 3 good innings, gave up a hit. I'm sure he's looking for the same thing again today.
And the 2-1. Up the middle and off the top of the mound into center field.
Well, that made him jump some rope right there.
Skip to Malou.
That Zobrist is having a very good year for them. Switch hitter, you can see, just up over. Move those feet. That'll be hit number 4 for the Rays. For Zobrist, he's been on. He walked his first at bat.
Now Gabe Gross, who drove in a run with a bases loaded walk his first time to the plate. Here is Gabe Gross, originally a first-round pick of the Blue Jays back in 2001 out of Auburn. Takes a strike. Gross was the Auburn Tigers' starting quarterback for 6 games when he was just a freshman. And he threw for over 1,200 yards in those 6 games and 7 touchdown passes. But Gross came to the realization that his inability to move, couldn't really scramble much.
Oh.
And he said, I decided it was time to concentrate on baseball.
You can't scramble. That means you're going to get hit a lot. And that's not a good sign.
Especially down there in the SEC. The 0-2 is outside. And he hit .376 for his career at Auburn, which obviously endeared him to the scouts of the Toronto Blue Jays. Out of play. He spent a couple of years with the Brewers, and then the Rays got him in April of last year in exchange for right-handed pitcher Josh Butler. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Speaking of Toronto, they had lost 6 in a row coming into today and had fallen a half game in back of Boston in the East.
And lost again today.
Did they really?
Yes, they did. Baltimore beat them.
7 in a row now. That's what you call a free fall. That's hit well. Right center field. Chu's going to watch this one. Find the seats. A 2-run homer for Gabe Gross, his 3rd of the year, and it's a 7-0 Tampa lead.
That turned the wind around, huh?
Well, he kept it low, as you said earlier. He didn't hit a high towering drive. He hit that line drive home run.
Look at this. Boom. Woo. Middle of the plate, and he did some damage. Got it out there. Cut it through the wind.
And now Deanna Navarro.
So it is now 7-0. That was like what the Indians did the first game there. They were up, what, 9-0 in game number 1, 7-0 in game number 2 down in Tampa. We had some weird ball games down there.
Navarro with a big chopper to first. Garco will take it himself. 1 away.
Well, visit any of the Indians team shops or ballpark stands for a great merchandise and ticket deal. Spend $45 or more and receive a voucher for tickets to a game in May. Indians Team Shop, your source for authentic Indians merchandise and Indians game tickets.
Here now is Reed Brignac. Looks at a ball down low. Strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. Missed inside with it. Reed Brignac is from Louisiana, and he went to the same high school Ben Sheets and Andy Sheets attended. Two balls, 2 strikes. Brignac was originally a second-round pick by the Rays in '04, the 45th overall selection. Broke the bat. Rolls it to Jamie Carroll at second. 2 down. Let's go back to the STO studios right now for a Ford Sports Update with Al Pulowski.
Matt, Rick, let's show you what else happened earlier today in the American League Central. Tigers and Royals, and Miguel Cabrera, a big day, 4 for 6 with 3 ribbies. Tigers trounced the Royals 13-1. And the Minnesota Twins hosting the Boston Red Sox. Kevin Youkilis a double here in the 4th inning for Boston ahead 5-1. They hold on to win it 6-5 over Minnesota. Back to you at Progressive Field.
All right, thanks, Al. Here is B.J. Upton batting for the 3rd time tonight. Minnesota went from losing 6 straight to winning 4 straight before dropping that game today to Boston. So the Twins now 2 under 500 at 22 and 24. And 4.5 games in back of front-running Detroit. Tigers snapping a 2-game losing streak with that blowout win over the Royals, who drop a game under 500 now. Swing and a miss. Lewis gets the strikeout, and the top half of the 3rd is over. Rays tack on 2 more, lead it 7-0. Here at Progressive Field on a gorgeous Memorial Day here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Been on the cool side at game time, 62 degrees and a pretty good breeze blowing straight in off the lake today. Jamie Carroll walked his first time up.
You can see him trying to get a feel for his curveball, trying to mix in a couple more of those secondary pitches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now's the time to try it. He was down in AAA. Price, he was on a 75 pitch limit, 5 innings, 75 pitches. That's hard to go down there and try and command pitches and get a feel for anything, because you may not even be in trouble by that time, and you're done. You've thrown your pitch count, and the next thing you know, you're out of the ball game.
When David Price was drafted by the Rays, he was he was a two-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider. And the Rays called him in, sat him down and said, look, for you to go to the next level with your career, you need that third pitch, which is when they started working with him on the changeup. And they really feel like that is the pitch that's going to be a difference maker for David Price.
Well, I can certainly see that. I think it was a changeup right here to Carroll. You know, when he can do that, and it's about 86 miles per hour, and he's throwing 95 plus, command. I mean, that's a fastball and a changeup. That's the new pitch now, is a changeup anyway, and he can spin one up there occasionally for his third pitch. But the concentration level, move that fastball around, he has enough to get it over. You can command that, and then a straight changeup, and I don't care who you are, you're going to be in that starting rotation for a long time.
Grady Sizemore in an opposite field bloop double his first time up. Back out of play. Thought it was interesting, David Price, when they were talking to him about wanting him to develop a changeup, he said, well, Randy Johnson's a fastball slider guy. and they came back to him and said, well, CC Sabathia became an entirely different pitcher once he added the changeup to his career, and look where he's at right now.
And that is absolutely true, but there's not many. There's only one Randy Johnson, and his slider was off the charts.
He's also 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
No, he's 6'10".
Yeah. And Randy was 6'10", and he was letting it go right about the front of the dirt right there in front of home plate. I mean, he's just been blessed. He's, 44 years old now? Still dealing. It was a lot like Nolan Ryan. I mean, there's so few of those guys out there.
Way outside.
I mean, he may be blessed with a good fastball, with a good arm. But, boy, you just go fastball, change up a little breaking ball, and you're going to be just fine.
And the 2-2. And that's fouled off down the right side. And, of course, the big thing, too, for Price is once he really is able to command his fastball. He's got pretty good location right now, but as he matures and he's really able to command that fastball to both sides of the plate,
well, that's the best pitch in baseball. As you well know, the fastball, you command a commanded fastball.
He'll become a guy who literally could throw a new hitter every time he goes out
if he can do that. We'll see.
The 3-2 to Grady Sizemore. Foul tip, and it's in and out of the glove. Let's just say the potential is certainly there.
Yes, it is. I mean, the number 1 overall pick, the potential's there because that's what they're taking. But how many number 1 picks have you seen fail?
A lot.
That's exactly right.
Grady Sizemore with an opposite field hit. He has 2 tonight. They are the only Indians hits in the ball game.
Second hit to left field for Grady. How about that? There's a good fastball down and away, and he does a good thing on taking it the other way. Very nice. Very nicely done.
So 2 opposite field hits in the game for Sizemore tonight. And now Victor Martinez, who struck out his first time up. Victor went down swinging his first time up. Back out of play. 1-1 the count. Bounced it in there, 2 balls and a strike.
Well, when you're talking David Price, who says, well, Randy Johnson only had the fastball and the slider, and Randy Johnson only has 298 wins, 4,085 innings, 4,838 Ks. Those are some big numbers.
2-1 pitch. Inside. So he's averaged more than a strikeout per inning his entire career.
Yes. Oh, gosh, yes. I'd say he's right around the 11 mark for 9 innings.
Three-one pitch. Victor, line drive toward left field, but Carl Crawford will make the head-high catch. 2 away. Don't forget, folks, this year for every home run the Indians hit, the Gathering Place will receive a $50 donation courtesy of our friends at Great Clips. Rick and I are each donating $5 for every home run hit by the Indians to the Gathering Place. And we'd like you to get involved as well. You can log on to touchedbycancer.org to learn more about the Gathering Place. A special community helps families and individuals dealing with cancer. Johnny Peralta looks at a ball inside. He was called out on strikes his first time up tonight. And a strike call to even it up. Speaking of the Gathering Place, the race for the place is coming up on Sunday, June 7th. I'm the honorary chairman for the race, so hope to...
well, that's in 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah, coming up quickly. The race for the place will take place at Beechwood Place.
That's easy for you to say. Say that 3 times fast.
Registration will begin on
the race for the place
Sunday,
at Beechwood Place.
Sunday, June 7th. Registration will begin at 7:30. Race begins at 9 in the morning. It'll be a 1-mile race and a 5K as well. I think they're both beyond my distance.
Oh, you could drive that far.
What are those things? The Segway? You get one of those Segways, ride one of those around.
Well, you're the official spokesperson. You can get what you want. We'll get you a cycle.
How about if you just come out, I'll jump on your shoulders and you run?
That's fine. I could do that, too.
Okay, good. Well, then you'll need to register, and you can do that by going online at touchedbycancer.org and fill out your form and bring it with you.
I will do that.
3-2 pitch to Peralta. Johnny broke his bat, and the ball goes back out of play. We've seen some shattered lumber tonight, haven't we?
They picked the bad bats tonight after getting home. They should have.
Garco's destroyed one, and now Johnny's destroyed one.
I'll tell you what. Whew. I think the termites got into those boxes when we were on the road.
Sizemore takes off at first, and the pitch just missed inside for ball 4. Third walk issued by David Price. 2 on, 2 out now for Shin-Soo Choo.
Yeah.
Check out our Subway Fresh Face of the Game. Jordan Brown at AAA Columbus went 4 for 4 with 2 solo homers yesterday. International League Player of the Week. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Chu was called out on strikes his first time up tonight.
I'm looking out there. He's already at 76 pitches now. So we'll see. Didn't get a word or didn't get to ask anybody how many he may be going tonight.
The 1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball to first. Backhanded nicely by Pena. The flip. And Price beats him to the bag. 3 innings complete from Progressive Field. It's Tampa 7, Cleveland nothing. On top as we go now to the top of the 4th inning. And Jensen Lewis misses outside ball 1 to Carl Crawford, who drove in a run with a base hit in the 2nd inning. The Indians came into this game tonight having won 13 consecutive games at home against the Tampa Bay Rays. The only team in baseball who had a longer win streak against an opponent was the Brewers, who had beaten the Pirates 18 straight times at home.
Wow.
Major League Baseball scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. 3-2 the count on Carl Crawford. And a leadoff walk to Crawford here. Fausto Carmona starting tonight for the Indians in case you joined us late. If you were here since the first pitch, you may want to just forget about this part of the game, but Carmona started the 2nd inning by walking the first 4, and the Rays scored 5 times. He was knocked out of the game, and Jensen Lewis came on to retire the final 2 batters to end that 2nd inning. Lewis gave up a 2-run homer to Gabe Gross in the 3rd inning. And that's where we stand here in the 4th. Evan Longoria has struck out and walked tonight. One pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Longoria in the 1st inning batted with the bases empty. He came up in the 2nd inning with 2 men on base. And that's been the norm for him. He has had more runners in scoring position than anybody in the American League. So not only has he driven in more than anybody in baseball, but a big part of that is he's had 99 runners in scoring position coming in.
That's how it usually works. I mean, when a guy's having a year like that, those guys in front of him are really doing a job getting on, and you're not going to do it every time. But back-to-back walks here for Lewis. That's now 7 walks on the day for the Indians.
Comes Carl Willis. I wonder if
Lewis is gassed.
Yeah, you just wonder if, he had the 3-inning outing in Cincinnati. When he came into this game, the bases were loaded.
Well, the Indians are celebrating the end of the school year with a half-price ticket offer for Thursday, June 11th. It's a game against the Kansas City Royals. You can log on to Indians.com/schoolsout and enter the password SUMMER, and you'll get a nice ticket deal.
Lewis goes back to work here against Carlos Pena, whom he struck out in the second inning with the bases loaded. Over for a strike. Talked about Longoria having 99 runners in scoring position this year. Carlos Pena is second in the league with 88.
Well, that's why they're number one in the league in runs scored. This is a very potent offense. They're number one in walks. They take the walk, even though they do strike out a lot. They can steal bases. They're number one. I mean, they're number one in doubles. This is a team that, I mean, they create some action offensively. And they can strike quickly with the long ball, or they can beat you with the wheels and set it up.
Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'll tell you, the reason why they're at 23 and 23, their starting pitching has scuffled a little bit this year when you look at their starters.
That's what's kept them from getting on one of those extended runs.
A roll like they were on last year. That's exactly right. Sonnenstein's 3 and 4. Garza is 4 and 2. But I told you earlier, Kazmir's 4 and 4. Shields is 3 and 4. If they get out there and they pitch well, it'll be lights out. They could go on a run and win a lot of games.
2-2 up the middle, base hit. Coming around third, Crawford's going to be waved home. He'll score. Francisco's throw goes into the cutoff man. On his way to third is Longoria. Carlos Pena with his 39th run batted in on the year, and it's 8-0 Tampa.
And out of those 7 walks, 5 of them have come to score. There's another one over there on third base waiting to score. So it goes to show you, if you walk guys, especially on this ball club, they will hurt you. They will make you pay. That's going to do it for Jensen Lewis.
So we've got a timeout here in Cleveland. Left-hander Rich Rundle's coming on when we come back. They've got 2 on, nobody out. And Rich Rundles, left-hander, coming on now for the Indians. So far this year at AAA Columbus, Rundles had pitched in 15 games.
Well, he was up here for, I think, a day at the big league level. He wasn't used, and then optioned back down to Columbus. Well, he's coming into a situation now, 8-0, runners at first and third, still nobody out here in the 4th inning.
Tampa Bay has gone 5 for 8 with a runner on base, 4 for 7 with a runner in scoring position, 2 for 4 with a runner on third and less than 2 out.
Most of those guys got on by the walk. As I mentioned, they have 7, and that guy on third base, should he score, six of those runners of those 7 walks will have scored.
Willie Ibar was guilty of not getting the job done in the 2nd inning, bases loaded and 2 outs. He hit a liner that was caught by Peralta then, and he got him again. First out in the inning. So Ibar has not been able to solve Johnny Peralta tonight. That'll bring up Ben Zobrist, who has walked, singled, and scored 2 runs. In there for a strike to even the count of 1-1. Line down the right field line, headed to the corner, fair ball. That's going to get home Longoria. Pena will go into third on the RBI double by Ben Zobrist. That makes it 9-0 Tampa. Nice piece of hitting by Zobrist, who just took that pitch and shot it the other way right down into the corner.
That ball up in the zone makes it a little easier to go the other way with, and you could see it stayed fair. That wind didn't push it. That was a line drive, stays fair, so a double. It's now 2nd and 3rd. It's a 9-0 game.
Indians bring the infield in. Now Martinez wants to go out and talk to Rundles. Gabe Gross will be the batter. He had a 2-run homer his last time up. And he drove in a run with a bases loaded walk in the 2nd inning. So he's already driven in 3 for Tampa. Rundles deals outside for ball 1. Drops it in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 1 out. Here in the 4th inning. Swung on and missed. Gross chased after it. One of the few times tonight we've seen the Rays expand their strike zone.
Now there's a look from behind. That left-handed hitter, as you can see, that ball tailing away.
This is going to find the seats over beyond the Indians' dugout. Now Rundle's ready with a 1-2 pitch. And it's down too low. Evens the count at 2-2. Mentioned earlier, Gabe Gross was a college football player. Started at quarterback as a freshman for Auburn, which is where his dad played. His dad, Lee Gross, played in the National Football League for a few years. Lee Gross played for the New Orleans Saints and the Baltimore Colts in his 4-year NFL career, and that's just about the average.
Yes, it is.
Maybe a little more than the average.
Another walk.
Gabe Gross draws the second walk of the night for himself, and it's the 8th walk issued by Indians pitching.
You got to make him at least swing the bat.
9-0 our score. Bases loaded again for Tampa. And Deanna Navarro, 0 for 2, is the batter.
As a team this year, 191 walks for the Indians and just about 400 innings of pitching. So that's a walk every 2 innings. Not very good. That leads the league in that department. Those free base runners, boy, they'll come back and get you.
And that's something that, we know for a fact that's something that Carl Willis preaches to his pitchers from day one in spring training. Pound the strike zone, be aggressive.
One, yes. I think any pitching coach does.
Yeah, I'm sure there probably aren't many pitching coaches that go out there and say, you know what, throw a lot of balls.
Yeah, no, they want you to pound that strike zone. They believe strike one is the key to pitching, but when you've got guys out there that are afraid to throw strikes because they may get hit, that's bad. And you can't nibble. You go out there and you know what? If you get hit out of the box, it's one thing. But when you go out there and like Carmona tonight, just 5 walks, didn't give his defense a chance, that's no way to pitch.
You don't give yourself a chance. 2-1 delivery. Navarro back out of play.
The defense out there today, they have to be, you look at them. Just look at the way they're carrying themselves.
A lot of hands on hips, a lot
hands
of kick
on
in the
hips.
dirt.
They take their glove off. They're so tired of waiting in between pitches. Get the ball, get to the rubber, throw strikes.
Now the 2-2. He hit him. Hits the batter with the bases loaded, and the Rays now lead it 10-0. Pena scores. Zobrist to third. Gross down to second. Still only 1 out in the inning. So Navarro gets the RBI the hard way, his 11th on the year. And now Reed Brignac, who's 1 for 2 with a 2-run single. Swung on and missed. Now the 0-2 pitch. Back to the screen it goes. Again, the 0-2. Just missed the inside corner. Eighth man to bat in the inning. Rays trying to bat around for the second time in the game. And it's low 2-2. Reed Brignac made his Major League debut with the Rays last year when Jason Bartlett had a knee injury. Full count. Last year, Reed Brignac made his Major League debut on the 4th of July. Bases loaded, 1 out, payoff pitch. And a foul ball on the right side into the lower deck. How about this, Arch? Reed has a cousin, Ashley Brignac, who was the Gatorade National Softball Player of the Year back in 07. She was 25-0 and had an ERA of 0.00.
Sign her up.
Swung out and missed. Rundles gets the strikeout of Brignac. 2 down.
Listen to the crowd cheering. Well, fastball after a steady diet of the breaking pitches.
You could see Brignac look back after he swung and missed and asked the home plate umpire, did I swing at a strike there or did I chase one? And that was borderline. But probably too close to let go.
Well, yeah, full count, 11-10 game.
Ninth man to bat in the inning is B.J. Upton. And he is 1 for 3. He has struck out twice. He has an infield bunt RBI single. Second time tonight that the Rays have batted around. Pitch is down low, 1-1. Zobrist, the runner at third, Gross at second, Navarro down at first with 2 away here in the 4th inning. Rays scored 5 in the second, 2 in the third, and they've added 3 more here in the 4th. And it looks like Jeremy Sowers is now up and throwing in the Indians bullpen. And the 2-1. Swung on and missed to even the count. This will be the 30th pitch for Rich Rundles.
We're still in the 4th inning, for goodness sake. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Full count. 16 strikes, 14 balls for Rich Rundles. He's got to come into him here. The runners will be off with this 3-2 pitch. And Upton sends a lazy fly to center. Francisco in, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Rays tack on 3 more. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 10-zip Tampa.
Where's that going on?
Always a highlight here in Memorial Day weekend.
Where is that located?
I think it's over
Tower City?
The amphitheater.
Oh, all right. Look at that. My goodness.
Murph's going to be leaving.
Tell Robert, don't be afraid to bring something like that back. A little taste.
Murph's going to leave pretty soon and go watch Brett Michaels, formerly of Poison. He's going to be playing tonight.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Line drive right field, base hit. Mark DeRosa has a leadoff single for the Indians. Third hit of the day for the Tribe. Let's go back to the STO studios right now for a Ford Sports Update with Al Pawlowski.
Man, Rick, let's go to the National League. And the hottest team in baseball right now, the San Diego Padres, took them 10 innings to defeat the D-backs, but this two-run homer by Chase Headley did the trick. 9-7. San Diego has won 10 in a row, but they're still 7 games out in the West. Back to you.
That is something else. They're 23-22 now.
I mean, they were thought to be the worst team going.
Absolutely.
This year in spring training.
When we saw them in spring training, not only did we see it with our own eyes, but everybody we talked to said, well, it's going to be a long year for the Padres.
Well, long year. I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. They've won 10 straight.
Garco with a high drive, deep left field, into the bleachers it goes. Ryan Garco with a 2-run home run. I think it broke that guy's thumb. But he gets the Indians on the board. It's now a 10-2 ball game. Garco's third home run on the year. Give him 17 runs batted in now. Watch the guy try to catch this, Rick, in the front row.
This will be our Pepsi home run replay. That was a nice line shot, short swing. He had that good at bat in his first AB. Oh, ricocheted off the wall. They were a little slow in turning around.
I think it got that guy's finger. He tried to catch it. Matt Laporta with an inside-out swing off the facing of the Rays dugout. Laporta struck out his first time up. Good fastball from David Price, 0-2 the count. Is that the young man? Did he end up with the ball, that young man right there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes, indeed he do. Now the 0-2. Just missed in tight. David Price fires. And it's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. "86 pitches on the night for David Price." I'm sure that they would love to allow him to get 5 innings under his belt and qualify for a possible victory. Question is, will he have enough pitches to do it?
We'll see.
He's gone 3-2 now to Laporta. Still nobody out here in the fourth.
It's going to be a tough one for him today.
I don't think he'll get there, only because they're just very, very careful with this young man. He strikes out Laporta, 1 down. His 6th strikeout tonight. Well, experience the thrill of playing 2 baseball games right here at Progressive Field, and you'll get 2 uniforms, gifts. You'll be able to interact with Indians greats like Lenny Barker, Bob Feller, Joe Charbonneau. It all takes place Saturday, July 11th. Space is limited, so call today at 216-420-HITS, or you can visit Indians.com and select fans for more information. 1 ball, 1 strike. Francisco went hacking, came up empty, 1-2.
I have to believe that he's going to be out after this inning no matter what happens.
out of play. We know for a fact that he wasn't even throwing 100 pitches per start at AAA.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They're not going to push him beyond that here tonight.
He was on 5 innings, 75 pitches. And I mentioned to you last time, he had 75 pitches. He was back in the 3rd inning.
The 2-2. Didn't miss by much. Full count. And he walked him. 4th walk of the night for David Price. He has struck out 6. And he's given up 4 hits as the Rays bullpen is busy. And Price may not make it out of the 4th. Again, the Rays are very conscious of where Price is at in his development, and under their GM, Andrew Friedman, they're very numbers conscious. They look at all of the track records, and, after so many pitches, the possibility of injury increases incrementally. And
well, they're trying to slow it down right now. I'm sure when Cormier is ready, he will be in here. They sent Pena out to the mound earlier before that pitch. Now Navarro goes out, and we'll see as soon as he's ready. And Hickey gets that call from the bullpen.
And let's not forget, there's, they want to protect their investment too. If you're talking about it from the Rays standpoint. They've got about $12 to $15 million invested in this guy already, in terms of what they gave him in a signing bonus, guaranteed money, which doesn't sound like a whole lot compared to what guys are getting as veterans. But
well, I mean, for the kid to never come up and really be a part of your plans, it would be a waste of time. Why would you give somebody that money if you're certainly going to protect him and make sure you give him every opportunity to be the best he can possibly be, and hopefully have a long and great career.
He's walked 2 in a row.
He's got to be done.
And we'll see if it's the pitching coach or the manager who comes out.
I would think
it's going to be the skipper.
The manager.
Joe Madden will make his way to the center of the diamond. And that will probably be it for David Price. And there is the move to the pen. So David Price goes 3 1/3 innings tonight in his season debut of 2009. But he leaves with the Rays firmly in control, 10-2. 10-2 our score. Indians have 2 on with 1 out in the 4th inning. And the Rays go to their bullpen. Right-hander Lance Cormier coming on for David Price. Cormier, for the 17th time this year, has an ERA of 2.30. He'll be facing Grady Sizemore.
This has been a game where we have seen a lot of pitches, Matt. 236 pitches so far in this ball game. We're in the 4th inning, and 22 outs have been. 22 guys have been out. That's unbelievable. Still 1 out.
Strike called to Grady Sizemore. How many pitches did you say it was?
Well, it was 237, so let's go to 238.
238 pitches divided by how many?
22 outs.
22 outs. That's almost 11 pitches per out.
That's exactly right, to get an out. That is
a foul ball.
Not what you call efficiency.
That would be inefficiency.
Yeah, exactly right.
Lance Cormier's 1-2 pitch to Sizemore is fouled away. In the Rays' case, they can look at David Price in the hopes that he will improve with time, with seasoning, with more opportunities.
And they knew calling him up, he was only going to go so long.
With the Indians, I don't know where you go with Fausto Carmona, where they're at right now.
I don't know. He has been so inconsistent to this point. It's been a nightmare.
In the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Sizemore.
You know, a guy that has a good arm, and he's got movement on his pitches, but to go out there and just not even throw strikes. Today was a day that they're going to start scratching their heads. That was supposed to be their number 2 starter coming into the year, and I'll tell you what, he certainly is not a number 2 starter just from what we saw tonight.
Popped up foul, out of play. Sizemore blooped a double to left in the 1st, and then he lined a single to left in the 3rd. Pops this one in the air to straightaway center. B.J. Upton will make the catch. And the runners hold 2 down.
Well, every Wednesday home game this year features a local charity. And for every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to that charity. So on Wednesday, we want you to fill the house for the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio when the Indians will take on the Rays. It'll be at 7:05. If you would like more information, you can visit Indians.com/fill the house.
Now Victor Martinez will step to the dish 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and lined out to left. Victor now 0 for his last 15.
This guy, you couldn't get him out in Tampa. When we were down there, he was hitting everything, and remember, he had 4 hits in one game, and he was unbelievable for a series.
He tortured him with that shift.
And now he's the exact opposite.
Round ball, scooped up by Pena. And the flip, the inning is over. Indians get on the board thanks to the Ryan Garco 2-run homer. But it's 10-2 Tampa through 4. Day. Play hard, eat fresh. By Alltel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. Yeah, 10-2 Tampa. That's our story through 4 innings. The Rays got 5 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 more in the fourth. They've taken advantage of an extremely generous Indians pitching staff that has issued a combined 8 walks.
6 of those 8 have come around to score.
And Jeremy Sowers will be the 4th pitcher of the night for Cleveland. This is the first relief appearance in the big leagues in his career. '51 Major League starts for Sowers. Carl Crawford looks at a strike on the outside corner. Out of play down the left side. Not only is this the first relief appearance of his major league career, but it's the first of his professional career. He did not make a relief appearance in the minor leagues yet. Ground ball, nice diving stop by DeRosa. Gets up and throws out the fleet-footed Crawford. A terrific defensive gem by Mark DeRosa for out number 1.
Well, that really is, because you know when you go on the ground or you leave your feet, you've got Crawford, you have got to make a get up and quick throw. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. For a play right there in time to get Crawford. Nicely done. Mark DeRosa.
Evan Longoria with a couple of walks and a run scored tonight. Looks at ball 1 from Jeremy Sowers. Pretty good looking pitch, but it's called a ball. 2-0. Three and 0 the count. And he walked him on 4 straight. So a 1-out walk will bring up Carlos Pena. This Toyota game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Reed Brignac with a 2-run single in the second inning made it a 3-0 Rays lead. Then Carl Crawford made it 5-zip with his base hit. Gabe Gross hit a 2-run homer off Jensen Lewis to make it 7-0. And then Ryan Garco got the Indians on the board with a 2-run shot. 10-2 is our score. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Carlos Pena has scored 2 runs tonight with a walk and a single. He's also driven in 1. Kids will be headed back to school tomorrow, but not much left.
No, a couple weeks, I think.
That's about it. And then school's out for the summer. Two-0 pitch to Pena. Foul tipped. Now the 2-1. Again, it's fouled away. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Got to send along a birthday wish. Happy 2nd birthday to Owen Bellina And a happy anniversary to Jenny and Mike Belena.
Longoria, the runner at first. And the 2-2 is lined toward right field. And Chu playing deep has to one-hop it. Two on with one out for Willie Ibar. Let's get another look at tonight's All-Tel Text Poll question of the game. The following unwritten rules, which one's the worst to break? Making the first or third out at third base. Stealing with a big lead. Stealing when you're losing big. Hit a batter near their head. Or perhaps one we've forgotten. Text your answer to 31962. Results later in the game. How about Cadillacing it on a home run?
Well, it all depends. I mean, it's not the same as it used to be. Players, if a player feels it's, you're showing them up or something, then they have to do something about it by themselves between the lines. No one should have to tell them to do anything on that field that, is done. Your teammates, and I mean, you talk about it and you take pride and you never show the game up. When you do it that way, the game takes care of itself.
Slug to short, caught by Peralta, double play, inning over. Nicely done by the Indians. And we'll go to the bottom of the fifth, 10-2 Tampa. Lance Cormier stays on after retiring the final two hitters of the fourth inning for the Rays. He'll face Johnny Peralta, Shin-Soo Choo, and Mark DeRosa.
I don't know. Where are we going to be?
Mixing a salad.
Here's Johnny Peralta. He has struck out and walked tonight. And a first pitch strike from Cormier. Swinging a foul tip, 0-2.
Well, the Indians have 4 hits tonight. Grady has 2 of them. He's doubled and singled. DeRosa singled last inning, leading it off, and scored on Garco's home run, and that's it for the Indians. They've also walked 5 times.
Breaking ball misses outside, 2-2. I beg your pardon, 1-2. Lance Cormier from Lafayette, Louisiana. Originally a fourth-round pick of the D-backs back in 2002 out of the University of Alabama. The year before, the Houston Astros had spent a 10th-round pick on Cormier after he led the SEC in ERA. But he decided to return to the University of Alabama so that he could get his degree. And when he left, he was the holder of several Crimson Tide pitching records. Full count. Big chopper to third. Evan Longoria. Low throw, and Pena can't dig it out. Boy, you want to talk about a rarity.
Well, he just had too much time, and he just eased it over there.
People who watch Longoria rave about him defensively. Not only is he special with the bat, but they say he's as good as anybody, and historically as good as anybody at third base. But this was a routine play that he just kind of...
Yeah, it's just lack of concentration is all it is right there. He just stayed on top and throws it down into the ground. And normally Pena, who's a gold glove first baseman, will pick it and save you a lot. But that was an in-between hop. So that was a tough hop. It wasn't a short hop where you can really dig it out. You had to stay back and wait for it. So that was just a bad throw.
His fourth error on the
year. But, I mean, those happen. It's, to me, that was just a lack of concentration.
I guess if you're Joe Madden, you'd rather see a guy have an error in a 10-2 ball game
absolutely.
than in a 2-2 game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you don't want to have an error out there that's going to cost you a game or, at the time.
Missed up high. 2 balls and a strike.
But it goes to show you, no matter how good you are, if you're not concentrating all the time, you can, mess up very easily.
There's a off-speed pitch in for a strike, 2-2. Fouls it off. Lance Cormier, fourth-round pick of Arizona in 2002, and then just 3 years later, the Atlanta Braves traded catcher Johnny Estrada to the Diamondbacks to get Cormier and pitcher Oscar Villarreal. And then 2 years later, the Braves released Cormier, and then he signed on with the Baltimore Orioles. And after a year with the O's, they let him go, and they signed with the Tampa Bay Rays in January of this year. Double play ball, 4-6-3. That takes care of the error. And with 2 down, the batter will be Mark DeRosa, who has walked, singled, and scored a run tonight. Here's our All-Care Dental Indentures Smiling Easy Cam. On this Memorial Day, nice crowd on hand here at Progressive Field. 17 locations across northeastern Ohio. All-Care Dental Indentures makes seeing the dentist easy. Mark DeRosa bangs it back out of play. Big curve and missed high. 1-1 to count. That one didn't quite break.
Yeah. Get a hold of one and underneath it, and certainly not intentional. He's just trying to. Look at him. He's looking right down at his hands. I don't know if it slipped out of the top.
This is hit pretty well. Center field, but Upton is going to cruise back and make the catch, and the inning is over. 5 complete, 10-2 Tampa. Here in Cleveland, 10-2, Rays on top. Jeremy Sowers will face Ben Zobrist, Gabe Gross, and Deano Navarro. And Jeremy Sowers in with a first pitch strike. He just continues to do a lot of damage. There's a liner and a nice diving stop by Ben Francisco.
Benny with an excellent jump on that ball. The ball starting to sink on him, and he was able to go up and make a nice diving catch. Watch the jump. He's there, off and running. And there he is, puts it away.
Now Gabe Gross takes a strike. Swung on and missed, nothing in 2 the count. Floating liner and a backhanded catch by Peralta for out number 2. It's one of those balls where Johnny probably wondered if it was ever going to.
Well, yeah, I know it. As it's going away from him, too.
Yeah.
Come down. It's like it's in slow motion. And he puts it away for out number 2, so a couple of good plays.
Back to the mound over the glove of Sowers, and Navarro has his first hit tonight.
This was just out of reach. Oh, it may have went off the glove, a little leather. He did. He got up and watch it. Just deflects off the tip of the glove. Good try by Sowers. He was ready in infielding position, just a little too high.
And that'll bring up Reed Brignac. Who takes a called strike. In the air, center field, Ben Francisco jogging in. Inning over. So Jeremy Sowers with 2 scoreless innings of relief, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th, 10-2 Tampa. (10-2) in favor of the Rays as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Progressive Field.
They got the blanket out trying to stay warm. Is it that cold out there?
Well, that breeze blowing straight in could keep you a little chilly once the sun goes down. I got the jacket on tonight, so.
Well, it's blowing, straight in. That's right. They have T-shirts on. They're young, though. You're not supposed to be cold.
Well, your hero hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning for the only Indians runs in this game. Now he looks at a breaking ball from Lance Cormier. Down low. The 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike to even the count. Two balls, one strike. And a ground ball hit to second baseman Willie Ibar. One down.
Well, Friday, the Yankees will come to town. They're in for a 4-game series, and it's their only trip this year. But on Friday night, there will be a spectacular fireworks show following the ball game. That show will be set to 70s music. So come on out to the ballpark, grab a ticket, bring a friend, and have a good time.
Here is Matt Laporta, 0 for 2 strikeouts tonight. Looks at a ball down low. Well, I brought this story in just for you tonight.
All right.
Cubs outfielder Milton Bradley has lashed out at baseball's umpires publicly.
You're kidding. Not again.
He's saying that they're out to get him because of the incident he had with Larry Vanover, which resulted in him being suspended for 1 game last month. He thinks that they're calling strikes on pitches that are really balls, and he's saying as soon as it gets to 2 strikes, they're going to call whatever they want to see, and it's let's try to ruin Milton Bradley. He says, I think it's just a lot of, oh, you did this to my colleague, so we're going to get him anytime we can.
That's one way of getting the calls.
Yeah. Here's the shortstop, Reed Brignac, with a long throw on the money.
That's
2 down.
amazing, isn't it? Even now, even if you feel that way, do you come out publicly and make that statement?
Well, now you're only asking for trouble. First of all, you're going to get fined again, I would imagine. Not that that matters, but
it's always something. Always something there.
Well, more importantly, you're not making any friends with the men in blue.
Well,
not that he's ever.
He's never had a problem with one of them.
It's always their fault.
Well, it's always somebody else's fault.
Ben Francisco takes a strike, walked his last time up. We'll see the Cubs coming up in June. Whether or not Milton will be there, who knows?
That's how you play with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 different teams.
Francisco charges one deep left field, and it is going to be off the fence as it short hops the wall and left. And Francisco into second base with a 2-out double.
There's a hanger. Breaking ball stayed up in the zone, and Francisco all over it.
Snaps an 0 for 9 for Ben Francisco. And in the top of the order now, Jamie Carroll. He is 0 for 1 with a couple of walks tonight. Indians will be in Wrigley Field June 19th, 20th, and 21st. It's the 3rd weekend in June. Figures to be a popular series.
We're heading there on our next trip to play the White Sox, right? We go to Chicago, Minnesota, and then we'll be right back there for the next 2 road trips. Are going to be in Chicago.
Yeah. Carroll turns away, pitches up high, 2-0. Yeah, this is an 8-game homestand, 4 against the Rays, 4 against the Yankees. Two balls and a strike.
So you brought that article in just for me, huh? Thank you. I appreciate that. That made my day.
2-1 pitch. Bouncer to short. Brignac off balance throw on the money. 6 in the books. Rays lead it 10-2. Feel safe at home with the banking home of the Cleveland Indians. By AM, PM, too much good stuff. Beautiful shot of the downtown skyline at twilight. 10-2. Tampa leads it as we go now to the 7th inning of play. Jeremy Sowers on for a 3rd inning of relief work. And a first pitch strike to B.J. Upton.
Bo handed me a note here. After through 6 innings, as we are right now, the Indians have thrown 161 pitches. The Rays have thrown 140. So we've had a total of 300 through the first 6.
Nice play by Jeremy Sowers to retire Upton for the first out here in the 7th inning. The real difference in that pitch count is all the walks.
That's exactly right. And if you're traveling in... you can always catch the Tribe games on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 live out-of-market games per week, plus on-demand games. For full details, visit Indians.com, where baseball is always on.
Probably too much to ask of Bo, but, of that breakdown, I wonder what the ball-to-strike ratio is. Because that's where Fausto Carmona got into so much trouble in the first couple of innings. There's too many walks.
Ouch, that's a tough play, and he did it. He handled it nicely.
DeRosa has been solid tonight at third base. He's made 2 terrific plays, both against Carl Crawford. And there are 2 down. Don't forget you can buy Sports Time Ohio merchandise at stostuff.com. All bets are off. T-shirt, bottle opener, Sports Time Ohio hat, all available for you to purchase at stostuff.com. Carmona, in case you joined us later, you've been bouncing in and out. He walked 4 straight to open the 2nd inning, which was his undoing. The Rays would bat around, and after he faced the 9th hitter in the inning and walked Evan Longoria, the 5th walk of the inning, his night was over. Longoria has walked 3 times tonight. Carmona walked him once. Rich Rundles walked him once, and Jeremy Sowers walked him once. This time Sowers gets him to fly out to right field. Stretch time here in Cleveland. Rays 10, Indians 2. Well, don't forget, you can stop by Panini's and catch the ball game on TVs. They've got pizza, wings on their outdoor patios. Best outdoor dining in town. Visit Panini'sGrill.com. Check out the action high above the Progressive Field grandstand area from our Panini cam. I'm afraid it's all Tampa tonight, folks. 10-2, the Rays lead it.
Ask and you shall receive.
All right, here we go. 168 pitches for the Indians. 73 balls. 140 pitches for Tampa. 58 balls. So 28 more pitches total. And 15 more out of the strike zone. Still, even with that, even with those numbers, you wouldn't expect the score to be quite this lopsided. But that's what happens when you lump them all together.
Well, they had 4 consecutive walks.
And then back-to-back walks in the fourth that led to that 3-run inning. One-two pitch to Grady Sizemore. Outside. This scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Sizemore lines one to right field, and Ben Zobrist pulls it down, one away. 20,929 here at Progressive Field on this Memorial Day. First of 4 games between these two clubs. Night games again tomorrow and Wednesday, both 7 o'clock starts. And then on Thursday, a getaway day game. And our start time on Thursday will be at 12:05. And all the games, you can see them right here on Sports Time Ohio.
Well, at 12 o'clock games, remember last year, you know, we used to have a visitor in the booth every day.
Bouncing ball to short. Brignac throws him out.
Used to be Brian Anderson. Remember that? Well, now, guess what? He's going to be doing that 12 o'clock game here.
It was actually 2 years ago.
Was it 2?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah, he was with the Rays last year.
Yeah, I guess you're right. 2 years ago, he used to be in the booth for the 12 o'clock games.
Yeah, but now he's making his living with the Rays and doing a little TV work on the side. So he's in town working the TV booth with Dwayne Statz, our good buddy. Still works as an assistant to pitching coach Jim Hickey with the Rays. So he'll do all of his TV work when the team is out of town, when they're on the road. Down low to Peralta, 1-1. 1-1 pitch is down low. There's BA.
How about that new Dewey sporting?
He's got the Madonna headset working there.
No kidding. I mean, he
doesn't want to mess up his hair with
the
regular
exactly.
headset. So,
yeah, sandpaper couldn't mess that hair up.
There's a line drive to center field on the run. A hip high catch made by B.J. Upton, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 7 in the books, 10-2 Tampa. Rays have jumped out to the early lead tonight, and they have never looked back. Lead at 10-2. Now Jeremy Sowers, who's worked 3 scoreless innings of relief, deals to Carlos Pena. Pena with 2 hits, a ribby, 2 runs scored.
Well, Jeremy comes in here and he throws strikes, man. He gets up, he works quickly. He's changed the whole tempo of this game.
Indians shift 3 on the right side for Pena. 1-1 pitch missed up high. And you know what? One could argue, say, well, there was a line drive that was caught. They turned into a double play. There were a couple other hard balls that were hit. But that's it. When you put the ball in play, you're giving your defense a chance.
That's why guys are out there. That's exactly right. You hit it hard. You hit it into the teeth of the defense a lot of times.
And I would think as a pitcher, you know, when you get it handed to you and they knock you around the yard, you know, it doesn't feel real good. But it's got to feel a whole lot worse when you walk
I would think
a bunch of guys and you just don't give yourself really a fighting chance.
Well, those guys are going to catch the ball for you, are going to love the guys that let you swing and put it in play.
Pena sends a high drive to left. Laporta backing up onto the track. 1 away. Check out the results of tonight's Alltel text poll. 53% of you, the overwhelming majority, feel that the worst violation of the unwritten rules is to drill somebody at or around the head.
I think everybody agrees with that, especially if you're hitting.
Ground ball to short. Johnny Peralta takes care of Willie Ibar. 2 down. Let's go back to the STO studios one final time for a Ford Sports Update.
And Rick, one of the few games going on right now in Major League Baseball. The Phillies, the Marlins, and Philadelphia was ahead 2-0, but Florida comes back with Wes Helms' 3-run homer here to make it 3-2 in the 4th. It's now 4-3 in the 6th inning in Philly. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Here is Ben Zobrist. Looks at the ball down low. Couple of hits, couple of runs scored, a run batted in. One-hop smash to short, backhanded nicely by Johnny Peralta. And again, the Rays go 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. 10-2 Tampa Bay. As sun sets here in downtown Cleveland, We go to the bottom of the 8th inning at Progressive Field, 10-2 in favor of the Tampa Bay Rays. Third pitcher of the night for the Rays will be right-hander Dale Thayer, making just his second appearance of the year. Thayer, a California native, delivers ball 1 to Shin-Soo Choo. Called up from AAA Durham on Friday, made his major league debut. He has spent 7 years in the minors. He was leading the AAA Durham team in saves with 6. Choo with a high pop, foul, and out of play. You get the feeling, Rick, that Thayer is one of those classic in-between guys. You know, really good at AAA, but maybe not just enough in terms of scouts' eyes to do it at the major league level. And the reason I say that is he's a 5-time minor league all-star. Led the Southern League. Of course, that's AA, and in saves 3 consecutive seasons, but it's taken him a long time to get the opportunity.
Well, he's throwing 93, 94. I don't know what the separator would be here. You know, maybe just that's about it. I don't know whether secondary stuff we'll have to watch.
He came to the Rays in exchange for Russell Branyan back in 06. Choo sends one to the alley, cut off nicely by Ben Zobrist, and he holds Choo to a leadoff single.
Well, this ball elevated straight, belt high. Those usually get hit up here. Zobrist a nice job to cut it off and hold Choo to a single. As Shin-Soo was looking for a double, he broke out of the box thinking to.
The 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. You know, the trade that sent Thayer to the Rays from the Padres in exchange for Russell Branyan was executed on September 15th of 06. Breaking ball down low. There's a line drive to right field and a base hit for Mark DeRosa. So the Indians have the first 2 on here in the 8th inning.
Now again, another ball's just straight. Fastball on the plate. DeRosa, a good fastball hitter. He better locate that a little bit better. They will get hit. The one breaking ball we did see from DeRosa was out of the play, off the plate.
Well, Thayer's one of those guys, Rick, who you get the feeling he's been battling uphill his whole life. Barely 6 feet tall. The Padres only signed him initially after he went to a tryout camp. So he wasn't highly touted in terms of coming out of school, where he went to Chico State in California. A strike at the knees, and the count is 1-1. Garco fouls it back. Funny sometimes how the wheels of baseball can work. Thayer was pitching for Reno in the Grand Forks, North Dakota International Tournament in August of 2002. And a scout for San Diego was good friends with Kevin Mitchell's brother, Tommy, who was playing third base for that Reno team. He called the Padres scout and said, you have to take a look at this guy. He's got pretty good stuff. Might be worth a look. They all sat down together and invited him to the September tryout.
He's played in the minor leagues 7 years. I mean, he's been able to, as you say, make the All-Star team in Double-A, move up to Triple-A, now getting a chance because of some injuries at this level. Great stories. Not everybody's a high draft pick and, well, let's give you some money and you come on and you're going to succeed. Stories like this are good.
Tapper to the mound. It gets by Thayer. Throw to first, and the bases are loaded. Garco able to beat it out on the slow chopper that just eluded Thayer off the mound. And Ryan Garco won't get many infield hits.
I was going to say, that's one of the first ones I've seen.
But you know what? In all fairness to him, he hustled.
Oh, yeah.
If he just hangs his head and said, oh, boy, I beat one into the ground.
Oh, he knew it got by. You show me any hitter that doesn't smell a base hit, he's going to run. Believe me. And it was close. Look at him. He knows now he's got to put that head down. That's full throttle, baby. That is wide open. Look at that stride. Right onto the bag, and it's an infield hit for Garco, so it's 3 straight singles. And they have the bases loaded.
So they are loaded with nobody out. Jim Hickey, pitching coach, out to talk with Thayer. Matt Laporta, 0 for 3, will be the batter. And the Rays will get their bullpen busy. Joe Madden, like just about every manager in the game, even with an 8-run lead, he doesn't feel comfortable or feel that it's in the bag by any means. In fact, it was because of this type of scenario that Madden went on a rant recently about the baseball's unwritten rules, saying that, those unwritten rules were written a long time ago, or they were unwritten a long time ago when the game was so different. He said, now with the bullpens being the way they are and the way teams can come from behind in the smaller parks, said, really a lot of cases there are no games that are out of reach.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that.
Well, there's not a whole lot of people that would see eye to eye with a lot of Joe's theories and philosophies, but
there's still a respect to the way you got to play the game.
The 0-2, Laporta fouls it away. I think a lot of what he was talking about in the recent newspaper story was in relationship to what happened.
Right.
Probably trying to cover a little bit for his guys.
Without a doubt.
Two-strike pitch. Good swing by Laporta, but he's unable to square it up. Just above the belt. Couldn't get on top of it.
Well, that's about the best you're going to do with a pitch like that, is just follow it straight back.
Breaking ball hit to third. They get one there and turn the double play. Indians get a run. It's 10-3. Now 2 are out with a runner at third base.
Second double play the Tribe has hit into tonight.
Ben Francisco has doubled, walked, and grounded out to third. Francisco turns away and the count 2-0. Down the left side, but it's going to hook foul into the lower deck. (10-3), Tampa leads it here in the bottom of the 8th. Ground ball to third. Longoria knocks it down. Indians will get a run, and Francisco has an infield hit. His 15th run batted in on the year, and it's now a 10-4 ball game. Even if Longoria had kept it in his glove,
that would have been.
I don't know that he could have thrown Francisco out.
I'll tell you what, I would have wanted to see this. That would have been fun because, you know, you got to stop and plant. He would have had to plant, jump, and throw in one motion, but he couldn't hold on to it. So Ben will get an infield single, get an RBI.
Now Jamie Carroll looks at a ball in the dirt. He's 0 for 2 tonight with 2 walks.
See, Longoria, I just looking down there at him, he just went over and in his mind visualized backhanding that ball and throwing it.
He was going to try for the all-in-one motion play,
yes,
wasn't he?
That's exactly right. He was just looking down, and he knows if he would have caught it, he would have had a chance. Look at this. It's going to get another chance. But I'm saying, right after that first pitch, he did. We went back there and said, man, I wanted to jump up and throw it.
Carroll takes a strike. And the 1-2 offering. Going to slice foul out of play. And the 1-2 pitch to Jamie Carroll is lined towards center field. B.J. Upton will grab it, and we will go to the 9th inning. Tampa 10, Cleveland 4. (10-4) in favor of the Rays. Bottom third of the Tampa order due up against Jeremy Sowers, who has pitched 4 scoreless innings of relief here tonight for the Indians. Gabe Gross Had a 2-run homer back in the 3rd inning. He's also walked twice. Indians undecided on their starting pitchers for Wednesday and Thursday. I think initially the thought was Sowers would start one of those games, probably Wednesday, but
not now.
Not after his performance tonight, although what he's done tonight has certainly put him in a more positive light than what he had shown earlier. Strike called, outside corner, 1-2. Out of play. I would imagine Rafael Perez will be returning to the big leagues in the very near future. He has not allowed a run in any of his 6 outings at AAA. 7 innings, 6 hits, but 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. And right-handed hitters just 3 for 17 against him. In the air, left center. It'll be Laporta. 1 down. Our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game belongs to Gabe Gross, who drew a bases loaded walk in the 2nd and then hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd that made it 7-0. Here is Deoner Navarro. He was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in the 4th inning by Rich Rundles that forced home a run, and then had a base hit his last time up. He chopped one right over the mound that Sowers tipped with his glove, and then it bounced into center field. That's slashed out of play, right side. Now the 2-strike pitch. Line to left, a base hit. Over near the line, Matt Laporta. Ooh, does cut it off right in front of the wall. And Navarro in standing with a 1-out double. Well, let's check out our Direct Energy bringing the gas sequence.
Well, we have to go back to the 3rd inning on this one. Jensen Lewis on the mound against B.J. Upton. Starts him off with a fastball away. And then gets him. Heated them up upstairs.
Direct Energy offers simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Here is Reed Brignac, 1 for 4. Now Jensen Lewis had that terrific outing in Cincinnati where he went 3 scoreless. But tonight roughed up for 5 runs on 3 hits. Walked a couple in an inning and 2/3. One ball and 1 strike. Talked earlier about Reed Brignac, his cousin, the one that was the great softball pitcher.
Right.
She also had 21 no-hitters.
That's scary.
In her high school career.
You know, that's fast pitch, right? When you get down there and you can do that, that's fun to watch. That's dealing. 0.00 was her ERA.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible. 1-2 the count. I have to do an internet search and see where she's at now. I would assume, pitching collegiately. Although, you know what? That was 07, though. Now I would think she'd still be in college.
Well, I don't see many people graduating in 3 years.
Maybe she's really smart. 1-2 pitch. Threw his bat at it, rolls it to second, and Jamie Carroll throws him out 2 down. She 25-0, 21 no-hitters, a 0.00 ERA, and she graduated with a 4.0, you know.
If she's that smart, you'd have to marry her.
Oh, my. Runner at third, 2 down for B.J. Upton, who has 1 hit tonight.
That 1 hit was a bunt. He pushed it down the first base line with Carmona in there. Got himself an RBI. There was a man on third base. It was actually a beautiful bunt.
Now the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. You know who I'll bet knows a lot about Ashley Brignac? Our buddy Zapp.
Well, that's true.
Pitch down low.
I'll bet he would know.
Because if she's that good, she's probably part of the national scene. Redbird tells me she's a sophomore at Louisiana Lafayette. She's 8-3 with a 0.44 ERA for the Ragin' Cajuns.
So she's continuing to deal.
Swung on and missed. Boy, can't say enough about the job Jeremy Sowers did here tonight. 5 scoreless innings of relief, but it's 10-4 Tampa. It's 10-2 going to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Dale Thayer will stay on for a second inning of relief work. He allowed 2 runs on 4 hits in the 8th inning. Grady Sizemore leading it off for the Tribe. 2 for 4 tonight. Misses down low, 2-0. And a strike called. 2-1 the count on Grady Sizemore, who doubled in the first inning, singled in the third. Since then has flied to center and flied to right. High and wide, 3-1. And he walks the leadoff man. The Indians came into this game tonight with a 13-game home winning streak against the Tampa Bay Rays. But the Rays jumped all over Fausto Carmona, taking advantage of his wildness in the second inning, and they have never looked back tonight. Victor Martinez, 0 for 4 in the ballgame, steps in. Up high, ball one. Victor now 0 for his last 17.
Boy, that's hard to believe. I mean, really. The way he was going, you never thought he'd make another out. Now you never think he's going to get another hit. That's how this game can change on you.
He throws his bat away in disgust as he pops up to the third baseman. Longoria, one away. Going to bring up Johnny Peralta. Peralta is 0 for 3 tonight, and that's significant because he came into this game with the highest batting average of any player against the Rays since the 2006 season. Johnny had hit .426 against the Rays since 06. Joe Mauer was second on that list with a .389 average against him. But they've held him in check so far. Broke
there you
his
go.
bat
He
and
heard you.
He bloops it in there for a base hit.
He heard you. He's got to up that average.
His first hit of the night, 2 on, 1 out now for Shin-Soo Choo, who is 1 for 4. And here comes Joe Madden, the Rays manager. And we are going to have a pitching change and a 10-4 game in the bottom of the ninth inning. Incredible. Left-hander coming on to face the left-handed hitting Shin-Soo Choo when we return. Indians have 2 on with 1 out here, bottom of the 9th inning. New pitcher is left-hander Randy Choate, 33 years old, 3-0, 3.72 ERA in 21 appearances at AAA Durham this year. A career 5-7 record in the big leagues with a 4.64 ERA and just under 200 big league relief outings. He's pitched in all or parts of 8 seasons with the Yankees and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Broke in with the Yankees back in 2000, so he's been to the playoffs in his career. And a pitch down low, ball 1 to Shin-Soo Choo, who has a hit and a run scored. Hits are even at 10 apiece, but the Indians trail it by 6. And Choo takes a strike to even the count at 1-1.
Hits are even. There have been 6 Indians that have taken the free pass today on the base on balls, and there have been 9 Rays that have walked. So 15 batters walked in this game to go along with 20 hits.
Shin-Soo Choo looks at a strike, evens the count 2-2. Grady Sizemore is at second base. Johnny Peralta down at first. 1 down, bottom of the 9th. 2-2 to Choo. Bouncing ball. They throw it away. Into right field it goes. Sizemore's going to come home and score. Peralta's going to go to third, and into second is Shin-Soo Choo. Reed Brignac trying to get the out at second and possibly turn a double play. Misfired badly. And now the Indians get a run. It's a 10-5 game, and they've got 2 in scoring position. And here comes Joe Madden again. He's going to make another move to the bullpen. It's a 10-5 ball game, but you wouldn't know it by the way Joe Madden is going back to his bullpen here. Bottom of the 9th, Indians still breathing. We'll be right back. Indians down 5. They've got 2 on, 1 out. Grant Balfour is now coming on fifth pitcher of the night for the Rays. They'll be facing Mark DeRosa, who has 2 hits on the night and 2 runs scored. This is the 3rd pitcher of the inning for Tampa.
Well, he wanted to run that Thayer back out there and see, okay, let's go get you an out. But a couple guys got on. He walked the leadoff man. Then the base hit, so let's match up, bring in the left-hander. That didn't work. They made an error. So now you got to get back to your bullpen and the guys that you try and use in your situations here. Your setup guy.
Up high, 2-0. So Balfour coming into a ball game that probably didn't think he was going to have a chance to pitch in the way it was going. He blows it by DeRosa. Balfour, an Australian native, signed with the Twins way back in 1997. DeRosa shoots it back. 2-2. Second and third, 1 out. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Rosa trying to keep the train moving for the Indians. And it's fouled away.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do, too, is keep it moving. Get on there any way you can. Base hit, walk somehow, some way. They've opened up the door with an error in this inning to give you a little life.
He's able to check on a ball up high. Full count. Balfour talks to himself on the mound more so than any other pitcher in today's game. He said he'll curse at himself just to try and get himself fired up. 3-2. Line to third, caught by Longoria, and that is out number 2. That's kind of hung in the air.
Yeah, sort of got into the trademark, so it's a little soft liner. That is out number 2.
Yep, 2 down. Final hope is Ryan Garco now to try to keep the game alive. He has 2 hits on the night, a 2-run homer in the 4th, and yes, an infield single in the 8th. He went too far, strike 1. Balfour, who grew up in Sydney, Australia, said that the game of baseball came to him purely by accident. He was walking around a park with his dad when he was a little kid and saw a group of kids playing t-ball. And he said, I want to try that. You think of Australia, you think of Australian rules football and soccer.
Now, t-ball, how do you become a pitcher when you're playing t-ball?
He was really good. Never walked a batter. The 1-1. Garco with a line drive, deep left field. Up it goes, gone to the bleachers. A 2-out, 3-run home run for Ryan Garco. It's a 4-run ninth for the Indians. It's a 2-run game at 10-8.
Garco's left the yard twice tonight.
A two-homer game.
Yeah, 5 RBIs. Our Pepsi home run replay. It's almost identical replay of his first one, except there's one more man aboard. Well, Ryan Garco hits number 3 and 4 and has 5 RBIs on the night.
And now Jim Hickey will make a trip. This will be the 3rd trip to the mound in the inning for the Rays coaching staff. And they're starting to sweat a little bit in that Tampa dugout. They led this game 10-2.
They actually led it 10-0 at one point.
Yeah, that's a good point, Rick. You're right. It was 7-0 after 3. They scored 3 in the top of the 4th to make it 10-0. And then Ryan Garco's 2-run homer in the bottom of the 4th made it 10-2. And it stayed that way until the 8th inning when the Indians picked up a couple of runs. And now
they were
three-run homer and an error helped them score another one.
They were just buried so early in this game. I mean, their pitchers never let them get a chance. But I'll tell you one thing, they haven't quit. The error in this inning certainly opened up the gates, gave them an opportunity, and Ryan Garco went running through it, man. Second home run of the night. He's both in about the same spot.
Here's Asdrubal Cabrera to pinch hit for Matt Laporta. Indians need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Second time in Garco's career he's hit 2 homers in a ball game. Balfour misses again, 2-0.
Boy, you'd love to get this man aboard just to get this crowd. This is actually the only inning they've had anything to cheer about. The people that stayed around.
3 balls, no strikes. And if he loses Cabrera, Joe Madden may go back to that bullpen again. You saw Jason Isringhausen warming for the Rays. 10-8 our score. The Indians with 4 here in the 9th. And it's ball 4.
How about that?
They will indeed bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Joe Madden is going to go back to that bullpen once again.
This
Incredible.
Is unbelievable.
So another timeout here at Progressive Field. And another pitching change for the Rays. It'll be their 4th pitcher of the 9th inning. The Indians have scored 4, and they've got the tying run at the plate when we come back. At Progressive Field. What a turn of events we've had here in the 9th inning. Indians down 10-4, have scored 4 to make it a 2-run game. 3 of those runs came after 2 men were out. And now they'll bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Ben Francisco against Jason Isringhausen.
This is just like the very first game that was down in Tampa that the Indians in Tampa played. The Indians had a 9-0 lead. Tampa made a run to get back into it, and it was all Tampa the second half of the game. Well, it was all Tampa early into this one, 10-0, and now back are the Indians into a 10-8 ball game. It's scary how similar it is. A home run here will tie it.
Isringhausen's pitch is low for ball one. Jason Isringhausen has come back from elbow surgery, reinstated from the disabled list on May the 18th. He's pitched 3 scoreless outings so far for the Rays. 2-0. He pitched in 10 games for AAA Durham and AA Montgomery on his rehab assignment. Last year with St. Louis, he only appeared in 42 games because of the elbow problems. 3 balls and no strikes. And now coming in from first base is Carlos Pena.
This is, I mean, now they're running into it. They can't throw a strike. Balfour walk pinch hitter as Drupal Cabrera. He goes to the bullpen, makes a move, and now Isringhausen can't throw a strike.
Jamie Carroll would be next. Ball 4. Tying run at first base. Winning run comes to the plate. The Indians have batted around in the 9th inning. And Jamie Carroll, who is 0 for 3 with 2 walks, will be the batter. Carroll has grounded out and lined to center his last 2 times up.
Now, you know Jamie's going to make him throw a strike. This might be the worst hitter for Isringhausen to be up there is Jamie Carroll because he doesn't swing. He usually takes a strike. He's going to make you work, and now it just gets tougher and tougher.
5 straight balls for Isringhausen. And he misses again. He looks into the Ray dugout. He's exasperated. Joe Madden wants to know from Jim Hickey what's going on here.
And Hickey's going to say, I don't know, you brought him in.
Two on,
there
2
is
out.
Nobody up in their pen either, Matt.
Winning run at the plate. 2-0 pitch. And a strike called. Finally, Isringhausen can take a breath. He's missed on 6 of the 7 pitches he's thrown.
But don't take it for too long because you're going to have to throw another one. Jamie Carroll. Look
3-1.
Boy, this is, I mean, the people that stuck around, they are on their feet. They're loving it. They have a chance. Look at these kids.
Oh, he just did catch the inside corner to make the count go full. One more look at the 3-1 offering.
That was there. Good pitch.
So the runners will be off. Cabrera at second, Francisco at first.
That's a good thing because they're deep out in the outfield. So Francisco, he's off.
3-2 pitch fouled right back over the screen. And the Indians stay alive. Jamie Carroll trying to keep the game alive for the Indians. 2 on, 2 out. Tribe down 2. 3-2 pitch. Runners go. Ball 4, and they're loaded. The Rays have walked the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 9th. And now Jim Hickey will make a trip to the mound. I've lost track. I think that's
be
five
or
trips.
5. 4 or 5 in the inning because it goes back. Grady was the leadoff man in this inning. He walked off of Thayer. Then he got an out of base hit. He came out. It's got to be 4 or 5 times. They have 4 walks in the inning. Garco's 3-run homer, a single by Peralta. And it's Grady Sizemore up here now. Hey, he could win this ball game, believe it or not.
Grady Sizemore steps in. He has 2 hits on the night. He has also walked. He scored a run. Jason Isringhausen ready and delivers. And it's ball 1.
Boy, that is...
Winning run for the Indians is at first base now.
Tampa's doing the same thing. They're back on their heels. These guys are sitting here saying, just throw a strike.
Sizemore checks on a ball that's up high, 2-0. Those who have stayed are on their feet.
You're right. They were quiet all night long.
The 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Isringhausen feels like he's getting squeezed, but when you've walked 2 in a row, you don't get the close ones now.
That's exactly right.
Joe Madden wants to know, was it outside? And Angel Hernandez says, see.
Well, they've thrown 42 pitches in the inning, 27 balls in this inning.
3-0. In there for a strike. Well, you know, with Grady Sizemore, he's sitting on his pitch right here, and if he gets
pretty much, it's got to be a fastball. He's going to get on it and let it rip. These fans could go home happy if he gets into one.
3-1 delivery. Might have broken his bat, and it looks like he did. Fouls it off. Full count. So here we go again. Another 3-2 pitch. But again, the good news for the Indians, the winning run, Jamie Carroll at first base will get a head start here. And if Sizemore can plug a gap, they could score the winner all the way from first. Tying run at second, winning run at first. And the payoff pitch. Ball 4. Unbelievable. It's a 1-run game. Tying run to third, winning run to second. 4th consecutive walk in the inning for Tampa. And it's almost a complete reversal of fortune when the Indians walked 4 straight in the second inning.
It is, and 5 in the inning. That's exactly the same thing. And I mean, they haven't had to swing the bat after Garco's home run. They have not had to swing it. It's been 4 consecutive walks.
Well, here is Victor Martinez. Martinez is mired in an incredible slump. 0 for his last 18. He was batting .400 when this slump began. He's down to .361. And Isringhausen gets a first pitch strike in to Martinez. Oh, what a way to break out of it.
That's got to be his first pitch strike. My goodness.
The 0-1. Down low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tried to throw that curveball, and that's what he's known for. He's had an outstanding curveball. But, boy, when you're throwing so many balls, he hadn't had an opportunity to throw it.
Ben Francisco is the tying run at third base. Jamie Carroll the winning run at second base. And the 1-1 is a called strike on the outside part of the plate. And so now Martinez down to his last strike. And that did not look like a strike.
Well, Victor looking to try and duck it.
Isringhausen may have caught a break there. Now he'll try to cash in on his good fortune. He's one strike away from ending it. The 1-2. Way outside. Even up 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Isringhausen knows he has to throw a strike here because the tying run is at third base. He doesn't want to go 3-2. This is the 50th pitch of this inning coming up right here. And the 2-2. Fouled back to the screen by Martinez. Same pitch he called a strike a moment ago.
Why Victor was forced to swing at that ball and at least foul it off because there was one up in the zone that was called. You're right. So he stays alive.
5 runs in the 9th inning for Cleveland. They've got the tying run at third, winning run at second. And the 2-2 pitch to Martinez. Line drive, base hit, center field. Francisco scores the tying run. Here comes Carroll, and the Indians will win it. Incredible. Victor Martinez snaps an 0-for-18 skid with a 2-out, 2-run single to center. And the Indians with a walk-off Memorial Day thriller against Tampa. They score 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th to win it 11-10.
That is unbelievable.
Without a doubt, their biggest win of the year.
A 10-0 comeback. That is scary.
Biggest win in a long time.
Yes, indeed. This is a rarity when you come back for something like that. And this guy, who the hottest hitter in the league, was in a slump. What was he, 0-for-18? Gets the game-winning hit. That's a great win for the offense, boy. Those boys battled. They never quit.
It's the biggest blown lead in Tampa Bay's history. The Indians came back from a 10-2 deficit and beat the Rays 20-11 back in '99. And now they hand them their biggest blown lead of all time. 11-10, Tribal winner.